Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video on the channel. For today's video I thought, well, maybe I should do something a little different. Usually I like to do tutorials about DaVinci Resolve, but this time I thought, well, maybe I should dive into another topic that I'm also passionate about, and it's the topic of virtual production. Now I like to use certain programs, tools, like the Unreal Engine, to realize some of my thoughts and ideas that I have in my mind. And the reason is quite simple. Trying to find the right places, the right locations can be quite expensive. And so creating your own environments or using 3D environments that you can find online makes things so much easier, more convenient, and ultimately cheaper. And so that's why I thought, well, maybe I could share some of my knowledge with you. Now, first of all, you will need your video, obviously, with the green screen in it. Maybe I could give you a short preview of this. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And now how can we use this in our Unreal Engine? The first step is obviously to download the right software. Now, I don't use the latest version, which is 5.4. I use the version 4.27, and the reason is quite simple. I've tried to work with the Unreal Engine 5 several times, but the problem is my computer is way too slow for that. So yeah, I've had to downgrade basically to 4.27. But you can use the Unreal Engine 5 if it works for you. It's the same procedure as well. So yeah. Now, the first step is, if you have your video here, we cannot use this video in the Unreal Engine. It's not possible. What you will need to do instead is you need to take this MP4 file and convert it to a JPEG sequence. And the way we do this, we look for a platform or website which can do this for us. We'll type in MP4 to JPEG converter. Now there are countless websites that you can use for this. The one which I like is this one, onlineconverter.com. Now you need to upload your video and then click on convert. Now this is going to take some time, and now once it's done you're going to have to wait again a little bit. It takes some time to convert the footage, and now it says completed, and you can download the converted file. And now if you take a closer look at it, you can see that you have your JPEG sequence here, and that's exactly what you want. So now before we continue, I would like to get this stuff out of my zip file. And now we have our JPEGs here. And that's what we're going to use in our Unreal Engine software. It's close to 200 JPEGs. So that's it right now. If we now start the software, we get this, the Unreal Project Browser. Choose the third one here, Architecture, Engineering and Construction. Select the second template, ArchViz. And now it wants you to select a location for your project and a name. Let's call this test 1, 2, 3. And now create project. And now once that's done, you have your environment here in the Unreal Engine. Now you've got a lot of stuff here that you can get rid of, like this strange structure. You've got some people in here, you don't need them. You can get rid of the text here. And now before dealing with the actual green screen footage, I would like to show you quickly how you can get your 3D environments. Now there are different ways how you can do this. The easiest step would be to take a look at the marketplace inside of your Epic Games Store. Now the thing is, they have changed some of the stuff recently. You don't get to choose and buy environments and 3D models right here in the Epic Game Store. What you need to do instead is you need to start exploring on another website, which is called fab.com. And then under Discover, you can take a look at the environments that they offer. Now the thing is, most of these environments are not free, but if your goal is to simply play around with the possibilities of virtual production, you can simply go right here and then under price choose free, and then you've got some environments that you can use for your experiments. And some of these models, by the way, are not that bad, like this one here, for example. It says Saloon Interior, and to be honest, this environment has some pretty cool objects, in my opinion. So yeah, if you are keen on experimenting with this stuff, I think this is pretty useful. Now this is one of the options that you have. What I like to do instead is I like to use another software, which is called SketchUp Pro, and it's this one right here. And for SketchUp Pro you can find different environments as well, and the website which I like to use for this is called 3dwarehouse.com. This website offers you countless 3D models that you can use and import in SketchUp Pro, and then export those models and then use them in the Unreal Engine. So if you, let's say you have a story that you would like to tell, let's say the story of a young man who has got his first job in a, I don't know, McDonald's or BK, for example. You can simply take a look at different BK models, restaurants, and yeah, then you can start playing around with these models here. Now I've chosen this model here. It's called the Throne, and the reason is quite simple. I've used this model before and it's pretty cool. Let me just open this model quickly here. Now the way to do this, now this only works again if you have SketchUp Pro. If you do not have this software and you don't intend on installing that, that's perfectly fine. I mean, most people don't use SketchUp Pro, but if for some reason you want to use this program, you will need to click on this button which says import Unreal Datasmith file, which is, by the way, it's an add-on which you need for SketchUp Pro as well, because otherwise this is not going to work. So if you open the program, it looks like this. This is the model that we have downloaded before, and now you will need to export this to Datasmith file. Let's save it, and now if we go back to the Unreal Engine and we click on import Unreal Datasmith file, go to desktop, and now you can import this file. Choose content, import everything, and now after some wait time, you can see that the Unreal Engine has imported your 3D environment. It's a little bit slow, I'm sorry for that. And yeah, that's what it looks like right now. The first step is to go down to the content drawer, right click here, and then under media choose image media source. You can call this one test, for example. Now double click on it, and then under sequence path you're going to have to choose your JPEG sequence. Just click on the first JPEG, You can save it now and then close this window. After that, under Media, choose Media Player. Click on this box. Then double click on it. Choose your footage. And now you can actually see your video. Now, one important thing to keep in mind is that you should not close this window. If you choose to close it, you're not going to be able to see the footage in the environment. So you can minimize it, but please don't close it. After that, you're going to need an object that you can place the green screen footage onto. In most cases, you would simply use a plane for this. Just drag this into the environment, and now you're gonna have to rotate it and also scale it to make it bigger. Now once that's done, you can drag your media texture onto the plane and then double click on the material. And don't worry too much about this. I mean, this looks quite complex. This basically lets you do a lot of crazy things, but we really only need to make a few changes to this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up to this texture sample, to this RGB property. Just click and hold the left mouse button and then drag this out to an empty space. And then let go of the left mouse button and then type MF and then choose MF Chroma Key here. Now click on the background here somewhere, and then on the left scroll down and find this blend mode. And now what you want to do is you want to change this blend mode from opaque to masked. We can now left click on the opacity here and then drag this up and connect it to the opacity mask. The next thing we're going to do is create a new node. Once again, come up to the RGB, hold down the left mouse button and drag it somewhere in the empty space. This time search for multiply and then just connect this to the emissive color. And the final thing is to create a constant. For this, hold down number 1 on your keyboard and then left click in an empty space and connect this to your multiplier. This will basically create a constant with a value of 0. And now once that's done, click on Save. And now you can close this tab right here. But still, don't close this tab here. You can minimize it if you want. Now the next step is to add a camera to your environment. So right here at the top, you can search for Cine Camera Actor and then drag it into your environment. Now I've already done this before. I'm going to use this camera right here because I've placed it correctly before. You can click on perspective and then choose the right camera, and then you can basically look through this. Place your footage correctly. And now the next step is to go back to your video material, right click on it and create a material instance. Double click right here. And now the next step is to get rid of the actual green screen. Activate your key color here, click on the color, activate the eyedropper and select, wait, sorry, let me do this a little differently. And now select the right spot to get rid of the green screen. Click on OK. And now let's see. Oh wait. You're gonna have to drag this onto your footage. And now that's what it should look like, roughly. There's still a little bit of green left here. To change that, you can simply go to alpha minimum here and play around with this setting. Let me add, alright, 0.1 is what gives you the desired result. And now once that's done, we're actually ready to finalize our movie here. For this, go to the top here and under cinematics, add a new level sequence. You can also give this a name if you want to, and then click on save. The first step is to choose the right frame rate. In my case it's 30 frames per second. Click on track, and then under actor to sequencer, choose the right camera. In my case it's scene 1. Now if we go through this, you can see that the video is not playing. So in order to change this, you're gonna have to come back to track and choose media track, and then under media select your footage, and now place this correctly so that it can play back the entire video. In my case the video is not too long, it's only a few seconds actually. And now right click here, and then under properties go down to media texture and select your footage. And now if we go through the media, you can see that the object, or the person in this case, is actually moving. So it has worked out for us. And now the last step before you can actually render the movie is to take a look at the settings down here. The most important setting is your manual focus distance. Now in most cases, if your object is not too far away from the camera, you're gonna need a value between 500 and 1000. So in this case I think 500 should be enough. And then you can click on this button here to render your movie. And that's basically it. If you want, you can choose the right resolution. And also if your PC is not strong enough, you can also make adjustments here and change the compression quality. But other than that, that's actually it. That's how you can place yourself in the environment here and actually make a movie with your green screen footage. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking this video and also subscribing to my channel if you haven't done so already. Oh, and please also activate the notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming tutorials. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.